Hey there, long time no CarCast. Um, got a few topics in mind, but today we're going to talk about a little bit about joint ventures. Um, I've had really good luck with joint ventures, business-wise. They're wonderful, I think. Nothing like two people or two companies putting together their resources and coming up with something new that benefits both. And if you're really lucky, a joint venture can be turned into a strategic partnership or even more. So, having said that, how do you know when you're just in the negotiation phase? You're sort of brainstorming, it's all exciting, you're counting your hypothetical millions and all of that. But when it comes down to, getting it started, getting it going, and making it a reality, how do you know that that it's going to go, that your joint venture partner is going to actually do what they say they're going to do? And you want to be an optimist and all of that, but still you have to look at it. Okay, what it comes down to is commitment. In the beginning, your JV partner needs to commit one or more of these three: commit their time, commit their effort, or commit their money. Ideally, all three. But if they can't block out a set amount of time for, let's say, a joint campaign or a joint product launch or a joint event, and it's doubtful if it'll ever go, or if they can't promise that they'll block out, okay, a week here or 3 days here for their part of the effort that goes into creating a joint venture, the content required, everything that it takes to build. And again, is it going to take off? Maybe not. Or are they willing to put forth the amount of money required? For example, if you need to book some studio time, if you need to put down some money for ads, if they're willing to do that, great, and you can sort of divide your labor and your resources and everything. But ideally, if they're willing to do all three, then it's looking pretty good. But even with those three in place, there's one more thing that really a good joint venture needs to have, and that is momentum. When you have that momentum, you're excited about working together, and you got this idea, you got this thing going, and it's like you see the opportunity, and then you really have to sort of jump on it and see if it'll happen or not. There has to be a point of go or no go. And the thing is, if you let that slide, it's still possible to sort of come to it later and find a new angle maybe, and so on, but it's a little bit strained. It's better to jump on the momentum when you have it and try to make it work for both of the partners. So there's just something of a practical thing that I come across myself and a lot of people that I work with, that they put their hopes on. If they're not willing to, when we talk about online business, if you don't have a fairly sizable responsive list, if you don't have the budget to run a lot of ads, then what's left is joint ventures. And if you're going to make it work through joint ventures, then you got to have their time commitment, effort commitment, and monetary commitment, and that momentum. So look for those things when you're carving up that great JV. It's still a valid model. It never gets old. There's plenty of opportunity out there, and people sometimes forget that when there's so much you can sort of sink your time into on social and in email and a lot of things that do work. But joint ventures, they work.